G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. 13 to 25, I had a look this morning. They reckon chance of a storm yesterday afternoon, but yeah, look, we got a little shower in the evening, but I think Judy said 1.5 millimetres or something like that, so it hasn't really settled the dust. I looked on the radar and there was a big strip coming. Oh, yeah, it must have went for a few hundred kilometres, but it was only very thin. So we sort of missed out on a fair bit of that. There's a thing in Bundaberg, they say there's a dome over Bundaberg to keep the weather away, and I think they might be right. You can see this thing coming along and it looked okay, and then as it comes to Bundaberg, it just thinned out and top and, north and south of us looked like they got a little bit more than we did. But anyway, that's enough about whinging. It's still not bad working weather, but this last week, well, it's Monday morning now, it's 6 a.m. Monday morning, and I'll probably up past 6 by now, and this is the first time I've been up in the shed on my own to do anything. I had a week that just went nothing like expected. It was a fun week, fun weekend. Oh, drunk way too much beer and had too much fun. Bloody great fun. But anyway, I'm still getting over it. I'm a bit doughy today. Not crook, nothing like that, but just, when you've had a big one, you just, you're probably stuck in second gear. Yeah, you can't quite get into overdrive, but we'll get into overdrive shortly and wind up again. There's a little bit of breeze outside, so I've got all the doors pegged with wedges and things like that to try and see how we go today. Last weekend I had to cut some of the filming short because even though I've got these microphones on that clear out some of the back noise, the shed was creaking and banging that much that you could see it clearly on the thing, and it was just coming over everything. So what I try and do is film in the mornings, then in the afternoons get stuff ready for the next day or something like that. But this last week we had a real estate agent come into Queensland Tractor Spares. We're tossing up whether we sell the business and retire in the next year or so, and look, we're getting things in place for that. We are going to let the business go. It's been really good to us over the years, and we've had it for 23 years. And we own the building it's in, so we could reasonably sell the business off. And still, we have rent coming in off the shed and that, so we are thinking about it. It's not out there yet, but it will be. And we're going to keep Bundy Bear's Shed. And I said to Jude, I do enjoy doing this, and I've got to talk to Sparex, see if they'd stay with us. And if not, we have other offers, but it's just, I like Sparex parts. And I could come up here and I could play with tractors 3, 4, 5 days a week, and that would suit me. We'd have, we'd knock some content out then, I'd imagine. Video in the morning and edit and bug around, drink beer of a night. So we'll see. My week, I've got to go and have a tidy up. Mrs says, God, you're looking bloody like Grizzly Adams. And I said, yeah, I feel like Grizzly Adams, but that's all right. So this week I'm going to try and get in and have a bit of a tidy up and see how we go. I've just let it go a bit mongrel. I just busy, I couldn't give a toss. I'm up in the shed with Kelly dog, and doesn't matter what we look like. And but this last week I got some filming done. Then nephew Ray's been coming down for a little while, and so he rings up Thursday morning and says, I'll be there this evening. I'll be there in a few hours. He said, I'm going to stay a couple of nights. And I said, yeah, all right. So that'll be nice. So down he comes. Then our friends Dave and Jody that were here, not this weekend gone, the one before, they had planned to come back and stay Saturday night on the last night of their holidays, give us a report on what they found and head home Sunday. Well, they got to Emu Park near Yeppoon in the caravan park, and there was people fighting near them and all that, and they rang up and said, we might be down Friday. We said, yeah, all right. So Thursday night we sat up and drank beer with Ray, and drank some of this Bundy rum he bought with him. Oh, it's a lovely blend of it. And so I went to work Friday. Then, Friday, Dave and Jody rolled in. And so Friday night was a big one. Ray and Dave and Jody hadn't seen each other for a while, so we hit her up in the pool room there. I was getting in trouble because I was sleepy about not sleepy, I just wanted to go to bed about 11:15. But for the 2 days, like, we drank a carton of heavy beer and pretty well finished one bottle of rum. And then Dave and Jody bought me a bottle of port for my 60th birthday. And I hadn't opened it, and they said, how'd you go with that port? And I said, look, I haven't even opened it. We'll get her out shortly. So we got that out, and we bloody cleaned that up pretty well. There's a little bit in it, but cleaned that up pretty well, and went on to the other rum. And anyway, we all woke up all right, which was good. I reckon Ray was a bit dusty, but he wasn't saying much. I said, you want brekkie? Yeah, we cook bacon and eggs and things like that for visitors. And no, he might just have a cuppa and get going. So anyway, so Ray done that. Then Friday afternoon, and while we're in the shed here buggering around having a beer, I'd had a solar panel here for Ray and a MPPT, I think they call them, solar regulator. So we drilled all the holes up in his roof and on the roof of his canopy, and put rib nuts in, and we've screwed it all down. And so we wired up all Ray's solar. I'll ring him today and see how it's going. It should be fine. And then, on my Land Cruiser on the Clearview mirrors, there's little plugs, and they say to glue them in with Sikaflex, and they clicked in hard, and I thought, they don't need clicking in. But anyway, when we went away, they fell out. So I bought another set of them, so I've siliconed them in this weekend. Then middle mate Paulie, with his little Rollson Tippet engine we got going. Actually, that was after last stew. On Monday afternoon, we had this little motor out of Paul's there, and anyway, we thought we'd give it a crank and get it going. Well, bugger me, we got it running. Jonesy come out and Dave come out, so there's 4 of us there, all looking important around this old Rollson Tippet. It's an Alpha Larval engine, but it's a copy of a Rollson Tippet Model N. So they got that going, and so Paul come out on Saturday, and we buggered around with that, and he got it out the back and pressure cleaned it, and fiddled and diddled and mucked around with it. So we've got that back out of the shed over into Paul's little container over there now, so we can fiddle through the week without me being there if he wants. And so it was just busy. And Dave was here too. Dave and Jody were here. So most of Saturday we got Ray finished off, and we just sat up here drinking beer. The women brought us another carton of beer. They went shopping, and so we had to say, oh look, any chance of another box of beer? So we got another box of beer, and anyway, it's about nearly gone. And yesterday, being Father's Day, we had the kids roll in, and my mum come over, and we had a barbecue lunch for Father's Day. So no shed work then either. So there hadn't been much going on that we could film, that's for sure. But today being Monday, I'm hoping to hop onto it. For those who are following the TEA 1954 TEA 20 series, the last week I put out the videos where I put the ring gear on, put the clutch on, did the front gearbox seal and all that. This next week I've got the tractor together in one piece. I haven't got it running. Been too busy buggering around. So today I'm sort of hoping to finish off a few loose ends to get it running again. But more importantly, I think, is we're going to start filming, pulling the PDO shaft. I'm going to try and show people how to drop the hydraulic pump out, take the PDO shaft out, drop the hydraulic pump out without pulling the lift cover off. But we are pulling the lift cover off and going through that. Through the week I got the piston for the lift cover, the one with the O-ring and the backup washer on that I like to use. I'd run out of stock at Queensland Tractor Spares, so I got one of those in for us, and so look, we'll see how the day goes. You'll notice shit on the bench everywhere. That's just leftovers. You know, Paul and Ray and everyone, I got them just, any tools that they were using, just put them on the bench here so I can sort them out and get them to the right place. So that will be the first job, tidy up the bench. And with the doors being open and the breeze blowing and that, the floor's quite dirty. So this afternoon, without fail, we're going to pressure clean the whole floor again and keep the place how we got it. Young Arrow, my grandson, he likes coming up the shed buggering around. So I had a look in one of the toolbox drawers this morning, he had oil in there, little bugger, so we had to clean that out. So yeah, look, I've just had a great time in the last 2 weekends, last fortnight, but as for being productive, they haven't been all that productive really. I got the tractor together and a few things like that. And, I think I've got a video on pulling the sleeves out of the 23C, but for those following the 23C, the valve on number 3 was high, I think it was, on the inlet. So I would like to get the head up on the bench here and pull the head apart and just have a look at those valves, because that engine looks pretty good all round, and I believe the head's been done, but I just want to see the damage on that inlet valve, you know, see if we need to send it and get an seat insert put in, or whether it's okay how it is. So we may, I don't know which way to head with it. So yeah, we'll just see how we go. My friend Tony McGarry, he's in our vintage club. One afternoon through the week he come and we showed him how to cut valves in a farm oil head that he's doing for one of his friends. So we did that through the week. So we did a lot of little bits and pieces, but can't film an awful lot of it. So my mate Gary, there's a business in town called Rum City Laser, and Gary runs it. And Gary used to, he's a mechanical engineer, he was telling me the other day, which is something I wasn't aware of. And he used to work for Oztoft, you know, where they made the cane harvesters over north. And when they closed up and went offshore, when Case IH bought them out, he started his own business, Rum City Laser. So he laser cuts steel and things for us. So we've been buying, you may or may not know, on the back of a David Brown tractor on the final drives, where they've got a solid linkage stabiliser bar, and there's a little bracket, and the bracket looks like a triangle plate with a pin. Yep, a triangle plate with a pin, and we've been having trouble with those. So that's sort of what it looks like. So I've got those cut out. I've got the 1/2-inch hole ones and the 5/8 hole ones for the heavier tractors. We've got 40 of them cut out because and these pins, and I get these pins and I part them off short. So when they go through the housing here, that gives me a good amount to do a nice big plug weld in the back there. And I've put the David Brown linkage arm pins here, and that gives us a couple of nice flat surfaces to blast a bit of a weld in. So through the week, we were buying these off quality tractor parts, and what's been happening with them is we've been sending them to people, and we've almost had 100% failures with them. And so we looked at what was going on, and where this pin goes in, the pin is almost flush with the back of the steel there. So when they've done a weld around it okay, but there's about 1 millimetre penetration there, and then they grind it flat so it sits against the housing. So what's happening is you've got about a 1 mil of weld holding it in, and these pins were breaking out. So I thought, up that's, you know, you do your business more harm than good. So I've got Gary to do these now. So we've got a heap of these plates to weld up and a heap of these pins either on the way or here. And I'm going to make a little jig that I can set that pin down, have a couple of bolts so I can just bolt it down square and do a nice big hot plug weld in the back there. and just let it cool, and we can take that off, smooth it out, and that gives us 3 millimetres of weld all the way around. And then top and bottom, once we've done the plug weld at the back, we can just run a weld top and bottom on that pin. So I've got 40 of them to do over the next week or so. So yeah, we'll just take all that into our own hands. If you're going to sell shit parts, you'll go backwards real quick. So the ones I was buying off Quality, they had a powder coating stuff on them, and it was probably a good thing, but it hid a lot of sins. And so a couple of months we realised we had a problem. Until we could get these sorted, I'd bring them home and I'd try and grind them back with flapper discs and all that and burn a couple of welds in. But the powder coating stuff, man, was it hard to deal with. You just kept chasing it round. You couldn't really, you'd put a sander or something on, and instead of it just disappear and go into powder, you just move this shit across. So anyway, so that's something that'll probably be afternoons this week, I'd say. I'd like to hop into, the little Fergie here today if we can, and get a little bit of filming done. So that's about it for the stew. There's not an awful lot. Oh, hold the bus. Last week I put a video out on my splitting stand that I made, my homemade splitting stand. So one of my viewers suggested that because there was such a lot of interest in my homemade splitting stand, why don't we have a little bit of a competition or something like that, and get you, the viewers, to send in your splitting stand, because we got a few photos. I do it like this, I do it like that. I use a pallet jack, I use something else. So let's have a little competition. And look, it's just a fun thing. Whoops. It's just a fun thing, nothing serious. What I will do is, on my Facebook page, Bundy Bear's Shed Facebook page, well, I probably want you to do two things really. One of them is on the comments under this video. Just leave me a message that you've sent something. And on the Facebook page, Bundy Bear's Shed, I'll start off this week a post with my splitting stand on it, and you put yours down underneath, and how you do it. So you can either just give us a photo of your splitting stand, a photo of you using your splitting stand, and how it works. And what we'll do is, so I haven't got a hand in the pie at all, we'll leave it run for say a month or 2 or 3 weeks anyway, give you time to get organised, and at the end of it we'll have a look, and if you see someone's post that you really like, just click like on it, and after say a couple of weeks, whoever's got the most likes on their thing, we'll send them a little package of stubby coolers and stickers and things like that. We'll send a little prize out anywhere in the world. We'll just see how it goes. I don't know yet, on our YouTube channel, with our merchandise, everyone hopped in and bought a bit of merchandise this week, which was very nice, thank you. We've got to get more 2XL shirts made, but what was brought to our attention is a man in Chile has bought a t-shirt and we just can't get it to him. Australia Post and all them aren't there, so we're going to have to do him a refund, and I don't know how we're going to work that out, but we'll give him his money back. But then I thought, some of this stuff could go anywhere. But there's a company called Spreadshirt, and we've been talking to them about doing merchandise. And in Australia, we can ship a t-shirt, a stubby cooler, a sticker, whatever, around Australia quite cheaply, and it's not a bad deal really. But what we're finding is, by the time you buy a t-shirt for 35 bucks or something in Australia, and I know when you buy one in America or England and you can use the euro, or you get, the $35 ends up being say 25 or something like that. because of the exchange rate. Yeah, I think 100 Australian dollars is only 73 US at the moment. So when you do that, you do get a bit of an advantage with the freight, but it still looks expensive. So we've had a look at a company called Spreadshirt, and Spreadshirt offers a merchandise shelf on our YouTube channel down below. I think it'll end up coming up on a lot of videos. And so when you look at the video in the description, there'll be a little shelf and there'll be 2 or 3 merchandise items, and that will give you a link into our little store. And by doing things that way, that makes it way cheaper for anyone in Europe or America to support our channel. Now, the shirts end up going from 35 Australian down to something like 26, and what Spreadshirt offers is they can send out of America and they can also send out of Europe, so that looks after the Northern Hemisphere a bit better. And what we can offer in there, and they do all sorts of stuff, and they make it as you sell it, sort of thing. So, I don't have to buy all the stock and stock it. So, we've put some t-shirts, some hoodies, some singlets, some beanies, caps, hats, bucket hats, drink bottles, things like that, all out there. And then we've got 6 Bundy Bear Shed logos on the go. This is stuff I've had going in the background that I haven't sort of told you all about, really. There's one of me just standing there with a rum and a shifter, my favourite shifting spanner. And there's one of me in front of a little shed. And then we've got the caricature of me, our standard one with me driving a grey Fergie. Well, now we have the caricature coming out, well, it's out, of me on Goldie, on the grey and gold tractor. We've finished me on the 135 tractor, and we just had the John Deere 421 redrawn. Westy does a great job, but being a high clear, he did a nice one, but the back wheels were too small. So I said, look, it's a high crop. It looks like a greyhound with the skinny guts. And so he's redrawn the John Deere 420H. So we've got one out there with me, and they've all got me with me favourite rum and me bloody shifting spanner and me in me shorts, me summer shorts and me thongs, driving the tractors. So there's 6 different ones now. So if you prefer the John Deere or the Massey or something like that. So, and what the deal is as we get different model tractors finished, when we get the 65 finished, Westy will draw us one, the same thing roughly, but a Massey Ferguson 65. So we're having a lot of fun with that. It's costing a few bob, but look, it's just great fun. And so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be, we've got trucker caps, baseball caps, beanies, bucket hats, ceramic cups. Then we've got like an alloy, a tin camping cup. Just have a look. It's in Spreadshirt, Bundy Bear Shed, but YouTube's just looking at it at the moment, and I've been approved for it all through YouTube, and they're just checking all our products out, making sure they're all legit and making sure it's my stuff. I tried to do something through a company called Teespring, and I tried to upload the logo with me on the John Deere, and they said, no, you don't own the rights to that. I said, yes, I do. I paid for the bastard thing. And they said, oh, no, with Bundy Bear and John Deere, you're infringing copyrights. And I said, no, I'm not. It's me on my tractor that I did up. And they said, oh, if you think you've been unfairly dealt with, there's a button to review here. Press this button. Well, it goes to nothing. Like it wouldn't let me even have a complaint about it. So I told them to shove it. And we went to Spreadshirt, and they were fine. So Teespring would not have. And I said, look, you blokes, can you just have a look at the picture? You'll see it's not a John Deere logo. It's nothing, absolutely nothing to do with it. It's got me on my John Deere with the YouTube banner down below. And if you bother to have a look at it and not look at the words, you'll see that it's nothing to do with them. But anyway, that's big business. It's just gone to shit. So anyway, so that's coming up. I don't know when. I've done my bit, I believe. I think it's just up to YouTube to approve what we're allowed to have out there. So anyway, we'll see. But anyway, look, in the meantime, I better get my finger out, stop talking, and get my bench clean to start with. I'm a bit keen to do that head, but I don't know how much will get filmed. I do have a couple up where I slid this tractor together last week. I do have that filmed. It's not out there yet. It'll come out this week. But I haven't got much more up the spout because I've been playing up too much and not working. So give myself bloody good talking to. But anyway, look, I'll stop talking. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, and look, we'll catch you all next week, eh?